Esoteric Tantra. Esoteric Tantra. Esoteric Tantra. Sounds exotic. Everybody talks about Tantra, or those that talk about Tantra only focus on sex. It's true. It's a good thing. It's great for sex. Really important. Just as martial arts is really important to the warrior's way, sex is really important to the lover's way. It's a metaphor, a symbol, a reality, which you can use for self-transformation. So what are you transforming? What's changing? Essentially, Tantra uses the relationship with your lover to talk about the dynamics inside you. Your relationship with yourself, with your body, with your emotions and passions. It uses the chakras. It uses yoga and dance, chanting, art, any number of beautiful experiences to explore. If you sit quietly and listen to the dialogue in your brain, in your mind, what quality does it have? Does it berate you? Is there a battleground? Do you have the ego as an enemy? Do you do things that you wish you didn't do and then feel really bad, shame and disgust? Tantra is about transforming those inner relationships by using love. An example of a technique that comes from Buddhism that everybody hears about, that is also part of Tantra, since Tantra is a Buddhist practice as well as a Hindu practice, is mindfulness. Mindfulness is when you sit quietly or actively doing something, anything, doesn't matter what it is, and you notice the flow of consciousness. You pay attention to it. It can be through different senses, which is a tantric principle I've talked about elsewhere when I was talking about the relationship between Tantra and NLP. So you observe the flow of consciousness as it travels through all of the senses that you have. You might be hearing a voice but have a visualization that goes with it, or you might have a visualization and the voice is in the background. It is a loving act to simply accept and embrace whatever thoughts and feelings you're having at any particular moment. You're watching this, you're paying attention, you're sitting, maybe, most likely. If you're not standing, that's fine. Pay attention to the process of what your body's doing. That's the first stage. Then pay attention to the flow of thoughts. That's the next stage. Then pay attention to the state that your body goes into. What are the emotions around those thoughts? What are the associations you have with those thoughts? And how are they affecting you? The whole state of your consciousness. Being able to embrace and love that flow and accept it is an act of love. And that's why it's so powerful. What a lot of us do is we have a secondary response. We have a thought, a feeling, a reaction, a reflex reaction, and then we have a secondary reaction, which says, "Oh, I'm bad because I got angry. I shouldn't get angry. I feel really bad about getting angry. Oh no." Some people have it around sex. I feel desire for this or that person, and it's really, I shouldn't have that. I should respect them. I shouldn't, we have all these secondary reactions to sex. Is it a good thing? All this shame and all these things. That's true of whether you're talking about even someone complimenting you. Oh, I don't really deserve it. And what do you say? Those things that you're saying are an expression of how you feel about yourself. And you want to allow yourself all of those reactions. Allow yourself to sit there with them. The idea in Tantra that's expressed as ejaculation control, or sitting at the edge of orgasm and holding back in order to be able to get a deeper experience of pleasure, a bigger experience of pleasure, a higher experience of pleasure. And they all use those words. With delayed gratification, you hold back, you go there, and you get to choose how you respond to this greatest pleasure that you have. In martial arts, it's about anger. You hold the anger at the edge, and you hold the fear at the edge, and it becomes a fuel that allows you to become powerful in the conflict that you're involved in. That's true with Tantra and desire and the sexual flow. The metaphor is that whatever you're feeling about any emotion, being able to hold it, not repress it, hold it and experience it fully. And allow yourself to have the whole experience of it. Behind anger, vulnerability and fear. Behind desire. Some people's way of expressing the drive for sexual experience is driven by shame and disgust. And they do the sex because they're fighting with that experience. So giving yourself the room to hold an emotion and then let something new and creative come out of it instead of following the reflex. This is what both the warrior and the lover's path bring to you. That you get freedom if you don't react by habit. If you choose to react from a core, sensually alive place in the moment. That's what we're looking for. That's what the aim is. You can hold an emotion, feel it, choose how you're going to behave in response to it. By holding the emotion in that loving, mindful way, you might see whole new ways of actually behaving that arise out of it. That creativity that so many people talk about. And if you can be creative and choose how you're going to react when in the throes of passion, whether it be the passions of love and desire of Tantra, or the passions of fear and rage in the warrior's way, they're the mirror image of each other. At the core of Tantra is the duality, not of the male and female, but of the warrior and the lover. It's a deeper, more intense, archetypal duality, which is then reflected in some of the cliches that people have. They forget that there are magnificent warriors, shield maidens, Kali, these amazing women warriors. And there are beautiful lovers, men who can be just so gentle and gorgeous. And when you talk about, I will talk more detail about this later, but basically it is a bit too sexist and cliche for me to just talk about Tantra in terms of male and female, when what they mean emotionally and culturally is the product of history, not the product of physiology, as so many people wish it was. Anyway, Have a great day. Sit for a moment after I finish this and notice the flow of your consciousness and how you talk to yourself and what you say and how you say it, how you visualize it. And this will give you insight into whether you're a warrior with yourself in the midst of inner battle or a lover with yourself, allowing yourself to enjoy who you are for who you are.